is turn to 1 Corinthians chapter 16 and let us read verses 1 through 4. 1 Corinthians chapter 16 verses 1 through 4. Here the Apostle Paul wrote, "Now concerning the collection for the saints, as I have given order to the churches of Galatia, even so do ye. Upon the first day of the week, let every one of you lay by him in store, as God hath prospered him, that there be no gathering when I come. And when I come, whomsoever you shall
Good evening to
approve
one and all.
by your
Welcome to
letters,
LBW Radio.
them will I send to bring your liberality unto Jerusalem. And if it be meet that I go also, things we need to observe from this passage of Scripture. First of all, it was the collection for the sin. Verse 1.
So why still picking up my microphone?
Romans chapter 15 and verse 26 said, it was for the poor among the saints.
Check again.
So while it was the collection for the sins,
Good evening to one
it
and all.
was
Welcome to
for the
LBW
poor
Radio. You are listening
among
to the
the
Open Bible
saints.
Study presented by Brother John Massacre.
Now, 2 Corinthians chapter 9, verse 1 tells us it concerns ministering to the saints.
That's good.
The word ministering here simply means meeting the needs of the poor saints. If you read 2 Corinthians 9 and verse 12, you will also notice Paul saying it supplies the needs of the saints. In verse 3, you will notice that collection was for the saints in Jerusalem. Acts chapter 11, we talked about Agabus, a prophet who came to Antioch from Jerusalem and reported that a famine was expected in the city of Jerusalem and Judea, and that the saints would need, that is, the Jerusalem saints would need supplies to meet their needs. Okay, so there was going to be a famine. So Paul instructed the churches of Galatia and the churches at Corinth a contribution for the saints in Jerusalem that would be in need, because it was part of the saints in other countries, other lands, to help their brothers and sisters who were facing difficulties, needs. It was their responsibility to help them. So instructions were given to the Jerusalem and to the churches of Galatia. Now also notice that the contribution was to supply the needs of both the local church, that is the congregation where you attend, and the needs as it appear abroad, worldwide. The church in Jerusalem cared for its own. We talked about Acts 2. Right? Macedonia, Achaia, and Galatia care for those in Jerusalem and in Judea. Acts 11, Romans 15, 1 Corinthians 16. Okay, so these were not necessarily local churches, they were churches in Jerusalem and Judea. But Antioch, Macedonia, Achaia, and Galatia sent contribution to Jerusalem and Judea to help meet the needs of the saints. So you notice that it was both local and abroad. Now the contribution is also for the or to meet the needs of preachers of the okay that each congregation has its responsibility to support their ministers, who take care of ministers around the world, as of course the Bible shows clearly, as they are able to or according to their ability. Okay, so it is to support the spread of the gospel as well by supporting preachers or ministers or evangelists, as you may want to call it. Paul received support from various churches. 2 Corinthians 11, verses 8 and 9. He told the Corinthians, I rob other churches, taking wages from them to do your work. Apparently, Corinth could not by itself support the work of the apostle. And so he had to call on fellow brothers in other congregations to help support the work of preaching the gospel that he was engaged in. So the collection is to be used locally. The collection is to be sent to um, other places in the support evangelists, ministers, preachers of the gospel. And we will also notice that the collection is to be used for benevolence work. And what do you mean by benevolence work? That means, the word means kindness. Okay? That means you use the church treasury to help meet the needs of people locally and internationally. That's benevolent work, helping people in uh, their needs. And I like to emphasize the word needs and not wants. You know, a lot of times we take care of people wants, but we are not supposed to do that. We need to take care of people's needs, what they need in order to survive, not what they want to make them look good and nice, so to speak. So the church treasury is to help do benevolent work. Also, it is to do evangel and to spread the gospel. There are many ways and means we can use, and the ways and means cost money. Edification, that is to build up the church, to strengthen the church, to mature the church. We also have to spend on materials and other